But we do have reports, claims from Kiev that a Ukrainian serviceman has been killed in Crimea, though there are lots of claims and counterclaims. We'll speak to John Simpson, our correspondent in Crimea, in the next few minutes. But before that happened, we had this extraordinary speech from Vladimir Putin. He stood up in a hugely grand hall in the Kremlin and made a long speech, an hour long, which laid out the reasons why he believes Crimea is part of Russia. Have a look at some of the key moments.
Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
Dear friends, today we are here about the issue that has vitally important historic significance for all of us. On the 17th of March, in the Crimea, there was a referendum in full correspondence with democratic procedures and international legal norms. More than 82% of the voters took part in the referendum. More than 96% spoke for reunification with Russia. These figures are more than convincing.
And actually, just right at the moment back of that clip, we saw one woman almost bursting into tears, and really the whole mood of this speech and the reaction to it was euphoric. That was inside that grand hall at the Kremlin. The BBC's Richard Galpin was elsewhere in Moscow. Let's see how the people he was talking to reacted.
Well, people here have gathered on Red Square, close to the Kremlin, where the treaty was signed just a while ago. A celebration underway here. This part here is actually Revolution Square, just next to the Kremlin also. And as you can see, a large number of people here as well. They spilt over from Red Square, watching the screen there, seeing what's happening by the Kremlin. And of course, you know, this is an historic moment for Russia. The fact that after 60 years, when Crimea was given away to Ukraine by the Soviet leadership at that time, it's now about to be, or some people believe actually already back in the fold of Russia after the signing of that treaty.
We've managed to get through to the BBC's John Simpson, who's joining us live from Simferopol. Tell us more about the claims that a Ukrainian has been killed. What can you tell us?
Well, the details are still very, very difficult to work out, but it seems that the kind of group that of which there are some members behind me, the pro-Russian volunteers, that's to say not Russian soldiers, but people that have come along and put on uniforms and want to support the whole Russian cause here, seem, according to, well, Ukrainian sources at any rate, to have staged an attack on this rather unimportant base here, which is in the darkness behind me. During that attack, 2 Ukrainian soldiers seem to have been hit. One was killed. That's really all the details that we have, apart from the fact that other Ukrainian soldiers, possibly all of them or possibly some of them, were then disarmed and seem to have been driven away. But the details are very sketchy. The important thing, I think, is that we can say it wasn't Russian soldiers who did this. As far as we can work it out, it wasn't a kind of deliberate Russian attempt to take over the base.
OK, John, thank you. John Simpson speaking to us live with a couple of people keeping a close eye just behind him.